Victory screech! Welcome to Jags Japan, and that was week 1. That was
Wow.
crazy. Would you say you expected that?
No, a very celebratory beer on a Sunday, which
That
we
is
wouldn't
right.
typically do.
Gotta be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, but hey, Jags won. You gotta celebrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
How often have you seen a week 1 domination of another team like that?
I don't think I have. I don't think I have.
From the Jags, probably. I mean, yeah, I don't know. But maybe like whenever we play the Colts at home, we usually beat them. But hey, cheers. Cheers. Jags win. Duval.
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 Yeah.
I will say, Liam Cohen, what a guy. Absolutely killed it. Couldn't be happier, honestly, for week 1. Couldn't have gone better.
Yeah. I know you originally thought it was going to be like, it's like, oh, we need to win.
Yeah.
I think the pressure was on.
I think it was. I mean, obviously, every game's a must-win game. But, like, given the Jags' early season schedule, they really needed to win this. And for me, I put it as a 50-50 game just because week 1's always weird. You just never know what's going to happen. And I just needed to see it first, really. I just didn't trust after the years of the pain, of the heartbreak. I just needed to see the Jags beat a lesser opponent at home in a decent fashion, and they did. And I couldn't be happier with the way they performed. I mean, we haven't seen a game like that since 2022. I think you mentioned you were like the Titans game, right?
Oh yeah.
In 2022, and when Trevor was given the wave. Do you remember that? Back in our playoff run, like 3 years ago. It's been a long time since then. And last year was awful. The way it started, 0-4, and now to start off 1-0. And with that amount of optimism, I was thinking, in my preview, I did have us winning this game, still pretty decisively. Like I think I had 27-17. The final score was 26-3.
No, 10.
26-10, yeah. Oh, they got that garbage time touchdown at the end. 26-10, but it was more just like what it looked like from the very beginning. I was definitely a little nervous early on. It was like 3-3, and then they scored that touchdown. But then once they scored that touchdown and then that awful rain delay, it was
my gosh,
that rain delay. Which how often do you see rain delays or lightning delays?
It was the first or second game.
Mm.
And then it happened for our game as well.
I've never seen a lightning delay in my life.
I've seen weather really bad.
Yeah.
For Steelers one time. And they had to delay it for like an hour.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was recently, like last year or the year before.
Okay, maybe they're just
recently
starting
it was pouring. Like, I mean, it was like you couldn't probably even see it. But never, like, it was just like drizzling, I think.
It didn't even look like it was raining down there. It was just like, lightning delay, hour long. But I was a little worried after that. Like, we had the momentum. I think we just had an interception. And then we just scored a touchdown or something.
Right, because what happened with the Chiefs, I think it was the Chiefs one.
No, it was Cowboys. Cowboys-Eagles, the first game.
I remember, like, they were on a roll, they were going back and forth, and then they had the delay, and then nothing really happened after that.
Yeah.
So I was worried about that, too, where I was like, there's probably nothing going to happen after this. They're going to be cooled down. They're going to be like, we have to go back out there. And so I didn't really have anything. But they did awesome.
Yeah, they did awesome. I was a little worried early on when I saw that Mason Smith was inactive, our defensive tackle, because my keys for this game was if we could stop the running backs. If we could stop their running game, then make Bryce Young have to throw the ball, which he did, and he didn't do a very good job of it. And early on, I thought, oh gosh, they're running the ball pretty well. This is not looking too good, but I would say the Anthony Campanile, Jaguars defensive coordinator, really kind of showed out, and some really big performances by a lot of our, especially a lot of our free agents that came in. Eric Murray, safety, Dion Lewis, who got that amazing interception at the end, and Foye Oluokun just being a really solid piece on that defense. But stopped the run, which is huge, and then just let Bryce Young kind of get in his own head. It was kind of sad to see Bryce Young. He was throwing his helmet on the sideline and stuff. It was like losing to the Jags.
Literally.
Which So yeah, really crazy.
The defense did just wonderful. I haven't seen them play like that. Gosh, I don't know how long. Like when I say they were like stopping the ball, like they were right there, like 1 yard line, stopped them over and over and over, and on multiple occasions. I was like, I'm very impressed.
I'm like scarred when it comes to our defense. Like for the last few years, okay, it's like they would run the ball or like get a short pass for like 8 or 9 yards on first down. It'd be 2nd and 1. I'm like, all right, they're just gonna run it right here and get the first down. But then the way that they like responded from that and went from it's 2nd and 1, now they stop them. Now it's 3rd and 2. Now I stop it again. Now it's 4th and 2. And I don't know what Canales is doing. I mean, it looked very desperate. They were going for 2, or they were going on 4th down constantly.
Yeah.
And like they probably left a solid 10 to 12 points on the field just from going for it on 4th down, not making it, and then giving us the ball right back. So.
And then 2. Well, 1 didn't count, but there were technically 2 interceptions.
No, there was 2.
Oh, I didn't think 1 counted.
No, 1.
Oh, that was
in the beginning, Toya Lucon had an interception, and at the end, Lewis got an interception. The one that was called back was the Dewey, the pick 6 that was called back. Let's go over a few of the stats really quick. I would definitely want to talk about Trevor Lawrence. When you look at the stats, 178 yards passing, 19 of 31, 1 touchdown and 1 interception, 74 rating. When you look at the stats, that is not very impressive. In fact, you could look at the other side and be like, oh, he barely outplayed Bryce Young, who only had 154 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. But I think he looked really well. I know he had kind of that interception. Like, what did you think about Trevor Lawrence?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I thought he did really well. He was very focused. I didn't see him relax at all. He was like in the game until the very end, and I thought that was really, really good. I also, I did see him run a bit, and his running, because of how he got hurt.
Yeah.
What was that, last year?
Yeah.
Worrisome, but I think he's definitely thinking more before he's starting to.
Yeah, you can tell he's like very aware, like just very aware, like everything going on around him. He looks very calm. He's not like freaking out. If a play goes bad, he's not like,
Like he's disappointed, like when something happens. He's like, oh, that sucks. But he comes back and makes it better.
Yeah, I know.
For example, that.
There was he overthrew Brian Thomas Jr. on like an out route, like the 3rd or 4th quarter, and it was like, oh, that was like the bad Trevor Lawrence that we saw last year, where he was like, what are you doing? You make that throw in your sleep. How can you miss that throw? And it was like 2nd and 10, 2nd and 13, or 3rd and 13 or something. And but instead of kind of getting in his head and maybe next play trying to do too much and throwing a pick or something, he made some adjustments to the line of scrimmage, and then boom, found De'Ami Brown over the middle for a 15-yard gain and moved the chains.
Right.
Like that kind of composure and how he was able to command the offense very well. Like he was making adjustments. He was knew where the players were. Not a lot of miscommunications. And given how he was able to come back from our team having just awful penalties, which is something I also wanted to. The opening drive alone had 2 holding calls and an intentional grounding. And it's a miracle we even got out of that with 3 points. But penalties were killing us all day. I think I counted 5 or 6 holding calls, which just are drive killers, you know. But given that, still staying calm, it's 1st and 20, hitting Hunter over the middle for, a 12-yard gain. Okay, now we're right back in it. Not panicking, not trying to do too much, getting a few yards on the ground. I think that was incredible. And Liam Cohen, big props to him. I thought he was just in his bag. Offensive play calling, like the touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr. Like that was a beautiful play. Faked the run up the middle, which everyone thinks is going to happen in like 1st and goal, and just boom, right on the outside misdirection. BGJ using that speed and getting in the end zone. Thought that was really good. But the penalties are a little bit of a concern though, because that was happening in the preseason, and I just didn't want that to carry over to the regular season. On defense, it was okay. I know they had the interception that was called back because of the holding. But on offense is a little disappointing, given it's like you can't start every drive 1st and 20, 2nd and 25. Like that stuff is just, that just kills drives. Thankfully today they were able to kind of overcome that. But
that's the one thing they definitely need to touch up on.
Yeah, they need to be more disciplined, to be just better on not getting so many penalties and keeping drives alive.
But yeah, I feel like I look at this team and it doesn't even look like the Jags to me. Like if you told me this was like, you know, I don't know if the Panthers, like you said, are bad or if the Jags are actually good. Like this game just seems so not Jags.
That is probably my biggest question coming from this game.
But they're having new coaches, new management. They're basically almost like a new team.
It
new
looks
players.
different. The energy is different for sure. Like last year, the home opener against the Browns, there was just like no energy. No one looked like they wanted to be on there. Like tackling was not good. They weren't physical. Everyone just looked down on the sidelines. But this game, it's just like everyone's high-fiving, everyone's picking each other up, everyone's hugging each other, everyone's high-fiving each other. Travis Hunter brings so much energy. Like he's just always smiling, always doing stuff. Trevor, like I said, just looks very calm, composed compared to last year and the years before. He just looks more mature, as a quarterback. And I agree. It's like, is this the Jags? Or they're dominating a lesser opponent at home week 1?
Like we were worried.
Yeah.
We were like, I don't know. Because if we lose this one, the rest is,
It's like if you lose this, you can just kind of see it because of what's happened. Like last year where they lost the first game and they end up going 0-4. So I was like, oh, if they lose this game, they got 3 really good opponents, coming up, or 4 actually, because the Chiefs Monday night, week 5. I was like, we could be staring at 0-5 if we lose this game. But winning this game gives us momentum. And now, I originally had the Jags losing to the Bengals week 2. I might change my mind based on how they looked. I need to watch some of the Bengals games, see how they looked. The Bengals always start off a little slow, but I thought that'd be different this year. But I might pick the Jags to upset the Bengals away if they look like that. But the question is, do the Panthers just suck? Because they looked pretty bad.
Well, they had some good throws. They just kept not, like he would throw a really good throw, and then the catches would either not make it, there would be a flag. So they definitely got a little bit unlucky. But there were some throws where it was like he overthrew it multiple times. You could see him getting, like you said, in his own head.
Yeah, the fourth down, they were about to score a touchdown. I think it was 20-3 at this point. And they're not out of the game. It's still pretty early on, third quarter. And it's fourth down, and he just throws it out of the back of the end zone. That's a young quarterback rookie mistake. Like Joe Burrow's not doing that next week. Like he's a elite quarterback, and they have elite wide receivers. So I'm curious to see. This is gonna be a big test for our defense next week. But I saw what I wanted to see. Them beat a lesser opponent at home and really dominate them. They didn't need to. I just wanted them to win. I just wanted them to survive week 1, but they actually looked incredible. And now I'm the most positive I think I've ever been. This whole season, I'm like, we'll see, off season, whatever. Heard it all before. But I think this new team, new general manager, new coach, new players are really giving a lot of energy. Other things I wanted to about the defense. I loved our new defensive coordinator. I loved kind of all the disguise blitz. I don't know if you noticed, but just they'd have maybe 7 guys at the line of scrimmage, and then some would drop out, some would blitz. They just don't know exactly who's coming, on the offensive side. And so I really liked how Campanile was disguising those blitzes. Early on I was getting a little worried because I thought just so many penalties and it looks a little easy for the Panthers. But once that weather delay happened, it kind of just
we had the touchdown then.
We had the touchdown and the weather delay, and then everything was the Jags from then on. So early on I was taking some notes and I was like, oh, I don't know. I will say that ETN looked the best I think I've ever seen him, which, obviously the Jags got some new running backs. And people kind of thought, oh, ETN's on his way out of Jacksonville. We'll see if he's any good this year. But what was his stats really quick? I'm gonna look it up. ETN 16 carries, 143 yards, 8.9 average. Obviously he had that 71-yard long run to get us out of that. He was we were on the 5-yard line, ran at 70 yards. That was huge. But as far as burst vision, I've never seen him make those cuts and still stay inside. He was usually so quick to try to bounce outside, or he just run right up the middle and just get nothing, But he was very good, had very good vision, and Yeah, definitely the best I've seen him. The other running backs definitely didn't get a lot of carries, but one thing I did like was just the variety that the Jags have in our running backs. This is something I like. I kind of knew going in is like the Jags have a very good variety of weapons on the field, and specifically in the backfield. Um, I thought that like how they use Tank Bigsby when they need someone just go right in the middle and get a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. How they even used LaQuint Allen on catching balls in the backfield, and he had a few rushing touches as well. And then also Tootin got in there and made some plays. Didn't do too much, but did pretty well. But I thought ETN looked really good. Obviously, we got to talk about Travis Hunter, right? What do you think about Travis Hunter coming out?
I actually thought I was going to see more of him. I think he did really good. I think he got stopped really fast. He would run a little bit, but he would get stopped pretty fast. I think he did great, though.
Yeah.
It's his first year.
First game, there was obviously a lot of pressure on him. I think he's just kind of getting his feet wet. I think I actually loved what they did with him. I know some people are going to be complaining like, oh my gosh, he didn't play barely anything on defense. And, on offense, let's see what his stats were really quick. For receiving, Travis Hunter, 6 catches for 33 yards, 5.5 per catch. His long was 10, but 8 targets. So we threw to him 8 times. He actually had the most targets throwing. But, I mean, this was a game where the Jags didn't need to throw a ton. And it's a game they really didn't need Hunter to do too much. And that's what I liked is that,
he's like our biggest backup, like biggest.
Yeah, like I think he will be end up being our best player eventually. And just easing him through this process, if we're up by 14 points or if we're up by 2 touchdowns, we don't need him to have 100 snaps a game playing defense all the time or, catching every ball. We just need to use him when he's needed, when he's called on. And I think they did a good job just getting him the ball, getting him into space, getting his feet wet in the NFL. And then on defense, I think he only had like 2 or 3 snaps. But I think they're going to ease him in when we actually need him. Like next week against the Bengals, like we're going to need him on defense. I think he'll play more when he's called upon, when he's needed. Not necessarily, we're up 23-3. Why, risk him going out there and getting injured when he doesn't need to be out there? So I think for Hunter, no concerns at all. I think he's looked really good. I think he'll just get even better. It was a little disappointing, I will say. Brian Thomas Jr. only 1 catch, 11 yards. I thought they would feature him more. And he did. He did. Yeah, he did get a touchdown. That was really good. That's right. That's correct. But he did get targeted 7 times and only caught 1 ball for 11 yards. So I'm sure he'll kind of get better, when the lights get brighter. But yeah, the offense overall, it's weird because when you look at the stats, it doesn't look that impressive. Besides our rushing, 200 yards rushing overall, more rushing than receiving, which is more rushing yards than passing yards, which is actually kind of like rare. But I think when you actually look at what the Jags did to the Panthers defense, I think it shows domination, really, when you think about it. It just doesn't look like that on paper. But when you watch the game, Trevor looked great, looked sharp. Our wide receivers were still getting open. I do want to touch on De'Ami Brown, the Jags free agent that we got out of the Commanders last year. You even pointed out, you're like, whoever that Brown guy is, he's, where'd we get him at, right?
Yeah, I didn't know who Brown was.
He kind of came in to replace Gabe Davis, who we had last year, who was just like not good at all. It was a terrible signing. But he is kind of just coming in, being really consistent as a 3rd wide receiver, and honestly like a 3rd or a 2nd wide receiver, and has kind of proved to be someone like Trevor can trust on 3rd down on a dagger route over the middle.
I think he did have 1 penalty.
He had a holding, yeah.
So there's like a little, there's tweaks that we still have to.
Penalties are the biggest thing going forward. The biggest thing I'm concerned about is just like, I don't know, I don't have how many penalties we had overall, but it had to have been at least like 8 to 10 penalties. So that's the only thing I'm a little worried about. But I did love I love De'Ami Brown and all of the new Jaguars addition. I already mentioned it before. Like Eric Murray, the safety, was all over the field. He caused that first interception. He put the ball up in the air, and then Foye grabbed it. That was him. He also made some really good tackles. Dion Lewis was all over the field. Obviously, he had that awesome interception at the end. Who else? On offense, Hunter Long caught the touchdown, our backup tight end.
I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah. Who would have thought Hunter, the wrong Hunter, got the first touchdown? And Brenton Strange looked great, the tight end.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was making plays. I think he was my breakout player of the year. I think I might be right about that.
Yeah.
For the Jags, at least.
He was on the team last year, I thought.
He was. This is his third season.
I thought he did decent last year.
Well, so we had Evan Ingram. Do you remember Evan Ingram?
Yeah.
So he was like the tight end one, but then we cut him. Now he's in Denver. So now we have Brendan Strange. Now he's the tight end one. So now it's like his time to actually, shine. And I think he's been doing great. The defense got turnovers. That was one thing. The defense last year, I think, only had 8 turnovers the whole year, which is almost impossible to do in the NFL. So you just fall. Sometimes people just drop the ball and you just get it, right? Which the Jags have done a lot, to drop the ball and then the other team gets it. But last year it just wasn't happening at all. Today we had three turnovers, and Foye caught an interception, punched the ball out, fumble, and then Dion Lewis got. So with 3 turnovers, so we're almost halfway to last year's in one game.
Yeah, that just shows the improvement.
Yeah, just flying around, getting to the ball, playing loose. Really good. I already said I love the variety of the offense. Just it excites me so much when we forget about players like Strange or De'Ami Brown or Brian Thomas Jr. Only got one. He got a touchdown, but he only got 1 catch for 11 yards, and the offense still dominated. It shows that we don't need. Last year, we needed Brian Thomas Jr. to get 150 yards passing or receiving, or we were definitely going to lose, and sometimes we still lost. But this year it feels like we can kind of attack so many different ways. We can run the ball really well. Trevor looks like he can command the offense and just spread the ball to different guys. We haven't even featured, like I said, Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter. We were just kind of okay, let's just run the ball. Let's Trevor make a few good throws here and there. Tight ends got involved. A few passes to De'Ami Brown. And just dominated. And a lot of that has to do with the defense, obviously, just getting them off the field. Just amazing plays, getting them off on 4th down. And the best I've seen their run defense look in a while.
Yeah, I think last year it got to the point where it was halfway through a game we had to turn it off. It was just it just got so sad. It was it's not even fun watching, and now it's actually exciting to get back into football. And
yeah, definitely. I was definitely nervous. Before the game, you saw me. I'm just trying to find stuff to do. I'm just had the jitters. I'm just oh gosh, But I loved just how they looked. Time of possession was a good thing. Last year, what happened so much?
Oh my god.
The Jags offense would come out 3 and out. We'd punt it to the other team. Then the other team would 10 minutes go down the field, 10 minutes, get a touchdown. Okay, 7-0, not a big deal. But then we come out 3 and out immediately.
Yeah.
So we've only had the ball for 45 seconds in the game.
It's almost the opposite this time.
It was
It was I think it was halfway, the first time we got the ball halfway, first quarter, we were still having it, and then finally we gave it back. And yeah. Yeah,
it felt like, it was the opposite. It was just
and every time they would get it, we would just get them out really quick.
Defense would do really well. As far as some drawbacks, some things, it's okay, we talked about the penalties. Trevor's pick, I know that one, it was a little, I think at the end of the day, it's Trevor's fault. But the guy did make a really good play.
No, yeah. It was meant to be. You can see Hunter
that was a touchdown.
Right there.
That was a touchdown. There was nobody.
The guy just happened to read it.
He just read it really well. That was their star corner, J.C. Horn. So no surprise there. But that was kind of the only real blemish really on Trevor's day. He made some overthrows. Overall, I thought he played great. And then also the offense just kind of stalled out in the second half. The beginning of the second half, they were just it was okay, what are we doing? We're just, but thankfully the Jags decided to play complementary football today, and even though the offense wasn't playing that well, the defense would just, force them to get the ball back. So really good. cannot be more happy about how it all looked. Definitely unexpected. I can't believe I said this was a 50-50 game.
Yeah.
A coin flip.
We didn't realize because they only played like what one or two drives in the pregame, and they looked sharp. There were a lot of, but I remember seeing Trevor. I was like, wow. They didn't get a touchdown though, and so
in the first game, I was like, okay, but Trevor still looks good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to player of the game. Player of the game. Do you have an offensive player of the game?
Are you picking Strange? Who are you?
You can pick. No, okay, I'll go first. I'm going Trevor. I know it's kind of low hanging fruit, but like I said, the stats don't look too impressive when you look at it. But I think just the way he commanded the offense, and like I said, despite the penalties, he still got us in the right play, made the right throw, and just looked really good. Looked really calm. Didn't panic. He had the one interception, but this game was really important, I think, for Trevor, especially because like people just been hating on him so much. I think that he needed to just kind of play well, and I think people probably will still kind of be like, "Oh, his stats sucked. Like he probably didn't play that well." But it's like, if you actually watch the game, you'll know that like, yeah, he had made like maybe 2 to 3 bad throws the whole game, but besides that, he played spectacular. So I'm going Trevor Lawrence, but there was a lot of players you could have chosen. Who do you think you would go?
Yeah, I think Strange did really good, but it's so hard because I love BTJ.
Yeah, he got the touchdown.
Yeah, he did get the touchdown. But I know he did mess up a few times. So I guess Strange this game, but overall I love BTJ. I think he's like one of the best players.
Well, the thing is that with Brian Thomas Jr., what a lot doesn't get talked about is what he does to the defense, because their defense probably had a game plan. So we got to make sure this guy doesn't beat us. But because that happened, now you have De'Ami Brown open over the middle. You have Strange open over the middle. So like options, even if he has a quiet day, just him on the field, like he was. I obviously. Yeah, obviously I haven't. Watched the film. I'm not like some defensive or offensive like guru or football guru, but I know just like having a weapon like him on the field, a lot of the defense has to focus on that. Meanwhile, they maybe forget about De'Ami Brown or Brendan Stranger. So that's a good call. He had a great game, and I think he really will expect to break out.
Yeah, I would say either Stranger Brown.
Yeah.
Or is that defense?
No, yeah, De'Ami Brown on offense, the wide receiver. He made a lot of good plays. I didn't see his
but
his
Stranger
stat
I don't
line.
think got a holding or anything that I
No,
know of.
no.
I guess I'd have to go with Strange.
Yeah, actually, Brenton Strange led receiving 54 receptions for 59 yards, caught every ball that was on his way, made some clutch like third down, and De'Ami Brown as well, 3 receptions for 52 yards. Just kind of being reliable. That's all you can really ask. It's like, okay, if the ball's coming your way, do you pick it up? Are you in the right spot? And both of them did incredible. Like I said, Travis Hunter led with 6 catches, but only 33 yards. But I think he'll improve and just get better.
Yeah.
All right, defensive side. I'm going with Foye Oluokun, the Jaguars linebacker, the captain of the defense. I think he just made a lot of big plays, kind of led that run defense. Like I think a big reason why they were able to stop the run so much because he was right in that gap, plugging those holes. And I think he made the huge plays, the fumble, forcing the fumble on Bryce Young, and he caught the interception. But I mean, that was the knock on Foye Oluokun, is that he would make a lot of tackles. He'd be a great commander of the defense, but he just doesn't make a lot of big plays. He's just always solid, but not like really good. But today I think he played really good, made the plays when they needed to. So I am going. I'm going Foye Oluokun. Do you have anyone that stuck out to you on defense?
Well, actually,
or would you go like whole position group?
Oh my gosh, the defense as a whole, I can't remember the last time Jags ever were a good defense. So yeah, definitely the whole. But yeah, I would say either that guy. I was gonna say that guy, but if I had to choose another one, it'd probably be I think his name was Stool.
Stool?
They were like screaming in the crowd.
Smoot. Oh, Smoot. Yeah, Smoot was back.
I remember that one sticking out a lot.
He played really well. I think he had the only sack of the game, if I remember right. But yeah, I'm glad we got him back. So he actually used to be on the Jags for like a long time, like 6 or 7 years.
Jags?
Yeah. And then last year he was on the Buffalo Bills because they just didn't pay him. But the Jags actually brought him back this year. So he loves Jacksonville, and I'm glad to have him around too. And Smoot TV, I gotta subscribe to Smoot TV. So he's got to come out with more videos.
But yeah, as a whole, it's just a wonderful new. I almost think of it as a new team now.
It does feel new, yeah. I mean, it's a whole new organization. This is the first time I can remember. It's the first time since 2013 they've actually had a new coach, new general manager, like just new front office, everything this year. So I think that is very good. And I think it was really important to start off on a good note.
And I was actually worried about the opposite, where it's like we're all new people, we're all trying to figure it out. And I thought I was gonna have a lot more like messes up.
It would take some time to like get better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would be like, okay, it's gonna run. This might be a rebuilding year. Like we'll see. But they start off on a good foot. Now, obviously, still a long season. Yeah, long way to go. But I think can't be more happy about how it all looked. Yeah, that's week 1 against the Panthers. That's a W, 1-0. Really quick, let's just recap a few games. Obviously, we're filming this right after the game. Hopefully, it can get this out tonight.
So we are playing.
Next week, we're playing the Cincinnati Bengals.
They won?
They beat the Browns, yes. So I'm just going to go through some of the games really quick. Right now, the Titans and Broncos are still going at halftime. So come on, go Broncos, let's go. I'm surprised that's as close as it is. Packers are beating up on the Lions. Texans are barely beating the Rams right now, so let's see how that goes. That's at halftime. Bucks beat the Falcons. I picked that one right. Bengals barely held on against the Browns. So I'm looking forward to looking at that game, seeing what happened, because I think the Bengals are a much better team than the Cleveland Browns. And I thought, I mean, I have the Bengals in the playoffs this year, like as a 5 or 6 seed. I just think their offense is really good, and it's going to be a huge test next week. Just going around more of the AFC South, the Colts dominate. It looks like they dominated the Dolphins. 33-8. I did not expect that. I mean, I'm not.
I thought Colts were supposed to be bad.
I'm not high on the Colts this year, but I mean, I'm not high on the Dolphins either. So I honestly think the Dolphins might just be really bad. But I'd have to look at that game too and see what happened. Raiders beat the Patriots. I was actually surprised that the Patriots would beat them. Cardinals beat the Saints. Knew that was coming. Steelers beat the Jets. That looks like a crazy game, 34-32.
Yeah, and especially because the quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah. Commanders destroyed the Giants, and then yes, the Jaguars dominated the Panthers. Dominated. When's the last time you can say the Jaguars dominated somebody other than the Colts at home? It's pretty crazy. So we'll see. The AFC South could be 1-0. All the Titans, the Colts, Texans, and Jags all could win this week. If the Titans won, I'd be so surprised because on the road in Denver, and I might be a little worried about Cam Ward if he plays well. But we'll see. But we can all breathe a sigh of relief. It's been such a long off season, and for it to kind of like
finally be
start
back.
off, football's back. It's a great feeling. We have stuff to do on Sundays, so that's nice. But yeah, I so happy about that. But still have some more beer left. Are we celebrating tonight? But yeah, I'll be coming out with a preview video next Wednesday or Thursday. Gonna try to get this up tonight. We'll see. We'll get a little late, but we gotta be up early in the morning. But also, this is my girlfriend, Megan. I don't know if I mentioned that. She's been in a few of my videos, but she also has a YouTube channel. I'll link in the description below. If you want to check that stuff out, then you can. Obviously, this is Jags Japan. I do a lot of content around Japan, Japanese culture, Japanese language, and making drinks at home. Just stuff that I'm interested in. And I'm gonna continue doing these little post-game shows and week previews. So definitely stay tuned for more. Go Jags, 1-0.
Yay!
See you later.